In the chapter Structural Organization in Animals, structural organization in animals, what we are going to learn in this chapter, the structural organization in animals. The first we have to go with levels of organization, then the symmetry, then the coelom, and finally that four types of tissues, animal tissues like epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. That epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. The four types of tissues we need to learn. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the levels of organization today. Levels of organization. That living world include a large number of acellular and multicellular organisms. Acellular and multicellular organisms with vast differences in their structure and form. In spite of the differences in the structure and form of different animals, there are fundamental features common to the various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cell layers, symmetry, nature of coelom, the patterns of digestive, circulatory, and reproductive system. So that we have to learn in detail now. Okay. So that what we're going to say here, in spite of the differences in the structure and form of different animals, there are the fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cell layers, symmetry, and nature of coelom, patterns of digestive, circulatory, and reproductive systems. There are five levels of organization. From the protozoans to the higher metazoan, we'll find five levels of organization. There are five levels of organization. Okay, so let's see one after another. The first one is the protoplasmic level. The first level is said to be protoplasmic level. We don't find protoplasmic level in case of metazoans, whom we call metazoans. The kingdom Animalia is also called metazoa. Protozoans are not belongs to our metazoa. So we are going to say that these are not belongs to protozoans are not belongs to metazoa. So they will ours will start from here. Levels of organization in the metazoa. So who is this protozoa? Protozoa is a unicellular organism like amoeba, euglena, paramecium. We call them as simplest protist. We have a separate kingdom for them. Kingdom Protista. Okay, so this is kingdom Animalia, which starts with phylum Porifera. So kingdom Protista. Okay, so the protoplasmic level is there in kingdom Protista. These protists or protozoans are the simplest unicellular organisms, these are we say. So all the basic functions of life such as locomotion, digestion, respiration, excretion, osmoregulation, reproduction, all these are performed by a single cell. A single cell acts as a complete organism. Let's take an example to understand. Let's take the paramecium to understand it. Cilia perform the locomotion, isn't it? Cilia perform the locomotion. Paramecium is a single cell organism. That in this itself, everything is going to happen. Oral groove is there. Cytostome will take the food. Cytopharynx, reservoir, and the food vacuoles rotate in the body. And contractile vacuoles for osmoregulation. Contractile vacuoles are there for osmoregulation. Macronucleus and micronucleus are there. That macro and micronucleus are there for what? Macronucleus for the metabolic activities, controlling all the metabolic activities. Micronucleus for sexual reproduction. So whatever that locomotion, digestion, respiration, locomotion performed by cilia. So respiration, excretion, that osmoregulation, reproduction, all these are performed by a single cell. In case of amoeba, euglena, paramecium, any unicellular organism you take, you can see this. So what do you call this as? Protoplasmic level of organization. Within the cell, protoplasm is differentiated. That whatever the fluid that we say here, that is nothing but protoplasm. Cytoplasm with all cytoorganelles, we say protoplasm. So differentiated into cell organelles which carry out different functions. It is called protoplasmic level of organization. Okay, I do remember you once again. This is paramecium. We usually say that cytoplasm divide up of outer ectoplasm and inner endoplasm, isn't it? So along with the cytoplasm, if all the cytoorganelles if include micro and macronucleus, oral groove, cytosome, cytopharynx, everything if we include that, all we say that is protoplasm. Cytoplasm with cytoorganelles we consider as protoplasm. Means ectoplasm plus endoplasm plus all the cytoorganelles we call protoplasm. So what type of organization present in amoeba, in euglena, in paramecium, in all kingdom protista group or in the protozoans, what type of organization is there? We need to say protoplasmic grade of organization is present in them. Okay. So that the mention of the protoplasmic level is only to provide better understanding as only metazoans are dealt in this chapter. Actually, our motive is to learn about the kingdom Animalia. Okay, so just for continuation aspect, we just remembered our protozoans, unicellular organisms there actually. So now let us start kingdom Animalia or metazoa. Levels of organization in the metazoan. Let's talk about kingdom Animalia itself called metazoa, that you need to remember. So, to all the members of the kingdom metazoa are multicellular, all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cells. The cells of the metazoans are not capable of independent existence and exhibit division of labor at various levels of organization. Cells of the metazoans are not capable of independent existence. That is very important here. That means I am saying here, in your tissue, in your body, if you bring one cell out, it won't act like amoeba. If you bring some tissues out, it won't act like sponges. Okay, so that means we are talking about if you take the human being, an organism, if you remove some tissue, if you drop here, or if you remove some cell, if you drop here, will it act as an organism? No, not at all possible. That's what they are saying. That among the metazoans of the different kinds, cells may be functionally isolated or grouped together form tissues or organ systems. Okay, so the types of organization we are going here, that among the metazoans of different kinds, cells may be functionally isolated or grouped together to form tissues, organs, or organ systems. As such, structural complexity increases from the lower metazoans to the higher metazoans. As you people already known about the kingdom Animalia series, that's why you are able to say, I think so. Lower metazoans are poriferans, higher metazoans are said to be chordates. So from porifera to chordata, the various levels of organization we are going to watch now. In that, the levels of organization in metazoans are as follows. The first one, cellular level of organization. The lowest level of organization we can see, cellular level of organization among the metazoans and is exhibited by the sponges. Let me write the address first of all, the kingdom Animalia. In kingdom Animalia, we said there are two subkingdom Parazoa and subkingdom Eumetazoa. Now we need to discuss about subkingdom Parazoa. It is the subkingdom Parazoa is having this cellular grade of organization. Our said cellular grade of organization is present in subkingdom Parazoa. What is cellular grade? Different types of cells are functionally isolated due to the absence of sensory and nerve cells. There is no coordination, just a group of cells are present here. There is no coordination. So then the cells are arranged in the form of loose cell aggregates and do not form tissues. Why they don't form tissues? There is no coordination. There is no coordination. Why there is no coordination? There is no nerve cells and sensory cells. That you need to remember. Okay. There is a division of labor among the cells. Division of labor is common for all levels of organization. That we need to remember. Okay, so there is a division of labor. The outer layer of body wall is formed of pinacocytes and the porocytes. The whereas the inner layer lining the spongocoel is formed of choanocytes. In between the two layers, a non-cellular mesohyl is present. Let's start here. This we have a diagram, but let me draw you that to understand much better. So outer layer of body wall is formed of pinacocyte, the cells of outer layer. Pinacoderm, we used to say, the cells of pinacoderm are called as pinacocytes. These are called pinacocytes. Okay, the cells of outer layer. Okay, then in between the pinacocytes, we'll find some special kind of cells are present, which are called porocytes. Porocytes which make the holes, the cell containing hole. If you see the cell itself have hole. We call them as porocytes, which makes the water to enter inside. The cells that conduct water from outside into the spongocoel. Okay, so then let's go inside with the innermost layer. Inner layer is said to be choanoderm. Choanoderm contain the flagellated cells called choanocytes. I'll show you the choanocytes here. Collar cells are choanocytes. There are various other cells are also there. We have to discuss in the next animal diversity 1 chapter. That whereas the inner layer lining the spongocoel is formed of choanocytes. So who is spongocoel? This is spongocoel. This is spongocoel. Okay, so I'm writing here the spongocoel. Okay, so let me show you. Let me show you once again that outer layer pinacoderm. Outer layer is pinacoderm, and inner layer is said to be choanoderm. Let me draw this first, then after a label. This is choanoderm. So, what are the cells of the pinacoderm? The cells of pinacoderm are said to be pinacocytes, and also some that pore containing cells are present. We say porocytes, and inside we'll find spongocoel. The body cavity of sponges is called spongocoel. Okay, so these porocytes conduct the water into the spongocoel. The water enters through here, exit from here out. We call it as canal system. In the coming days, it will come for us. Okay, then. So here we'll have only cellular level of organization. That cellular level of organization. In detail, we have to go there. Okay, so that whatever given here, I think we are justifying. The outer layer of body wall is formed by pinacocytes. These are pinacocytes and porocytes. That minute pore containing cells in between, we call them as porocytes. Porocytes are conducting water, I said, I shown to you. And whereas the inner layer lining the spongocoel, so talking about that inner layer, this is inner layer lining the spongocoel are choanocytes. I'll show you choanocytes separately here. So that these are said to be collar cells, the choanocytes. So along the total length, we'll find choanocytes. Okay. In between the two layers, we are talking about this area. That area with in between the two layers. That what is present? What is present? Mesohyl. That pinacoderm outer layer, choanoderm inner layer. In between them, that we'll find non-cellular gel-like substance which is called as mesohyl. Okay, so that is the total story of the cellular level of organization. What to be remembered over? That very important thing to be remembered. They have aggregates of cells. They have aggregates of cells. Outer layer is pinacoderm and inner layer is choanoderm. Outer layer pinacoderm, inner layer choanoderm. Then cells of pinacoderm are called as pinacocytes. Cells of choanoderm are called as choanocytes. Okay, in between the pinacocyte we'll find pore containing cells called porocytes. And this is osculum, we say, and this is the spongocoel. Spongocoel is lined by these choanocytes. We have to talk about. Okay, so that just if we draw separately, we can show like this. These are the coinocytes, and no need to go for much details at present. That because we have a special chapter for this to learn all of this. In between them, the mesohyl is present. What they are saying, in between them, the mesohyl is present. This is mesohyl, a non-cellular substance. Here all the cells are loosely aggregated, no coordination in between. No coordination is there in between. And because the no nerve cells and sensory cells, this is about cellular grade of organization. I am introducing the cellular grade of organization kingdom Animalia chart. That's what I am asking. I am requesting you to see the Kingdom Animalia series totally again and again that make you to understand these issues very clear. So address I am giving now. Kingdom Animalia or Metazoa classified into two subkingdoms. We just discussed about this subkingdom Parazoa with cellular grade of organization. There just group of cells are present where there is no coordination is present and loosely aggregated cells are present. We call these are commonly as sponges. Then phylum representation, phylum Porifera. We are completed this today. Cellular grade of organization. We'll go with Eumetazoa to understand the tissue grade and organ system grade. Meanwhile, I'm requesting you to watch the Kingdom Animalia series to understand this chapter well. Okay.